Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here, and it's time to give you my best of Cannes. Not only am I going to rank my top movies of the festival, but we're going to give you nominees and winners in other categories, just for fun. Acting categories, tech categories. It's all leading up to the big award, the Palme d'Oscar expert. Who will win this year? Here's a list of every movie that I've seen at the festival. Everything I watched at the festival is eligible. I don't care that Critics Week and Directors Fortnight technically don't count as part of the Cannes Film Festival. I saw them during my time at Cannes and they will be part of this. Before we get into it, this video is sponsored to you by Surfshark. Hey everybody, it's the Oscar expert here. When I travel the globe for film festivals like Cannes, I rely on public Wi-Fi. But public Wi-Fi can be dangerous and leave me vulnerable to being hacked by cyber criminals or tech-savvy fans who want to intercept the photos that I upload to my Dropbox folder, the cowboy side of me. Every day I upload photos of me dressed in a cowboy costume to a private Dropbox folder. Can you imagine if these photos leaked to Twitter? I can't have that. My cowboy hat has my social security number on it. But I don't worry about that because I have Surfshark VPN. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. It encrypts the information sent between your device and the internet when you connect with one of thousands of servers all across the globe. So I don't have to worry about hackers stealing my data. Apart from ensuring that nobody finds pictures of me blowing smoke off the tip of my revolver with a whip around my shoulder, Surfshark allows me to virtually travel all around the world. This means I can access different streaming libraries on services like Netflix and Hulu, more than doubling the amount of content that I have access to. And when you use our discount code, you'll get 83% off plus 3 months free, and you can cancel anytime within the first 30 days. And this month, Surfshark's giving away their antivirus software for free when you sign up. There are some things nobody should see, and Surfshark understands that. Saddle up today. Start off with the smaller categories here. Production design. We got Crimes of the Future, Decision to Leave, very detailed set decoration in that one, Tchaikovsky's Wife, Elvis, and 3,000 Years of Longing. And the winner is Crimes of the Future. When I think about what set design stays with me the most, I think it's gotta be that one, even though I wasn't a huge fan of the movie overall. Every place has this weird, like, dark, underground, nighttime feel to it. Very immersive, very strange. For best score, we got God's Creatures, Close, Decision to Leave, The Stranger, and Tchaikovsky's Wife. Although I did love some of the rusty percussion in God's Creatures, and I love the luscious string arrangements in Close, I'm going with Decision to Leave here. There's so much variety in this score, from moments that kind of get you like hopping in your seat a little bit, like to some of the more evocative string arrangements at the very end of the movie. I was really a fan of how music was used in this movie. For best editing, we've got the experimental cuts of Ennismen, the non-linear storytelling in The Stranger, which made the movie seem more interesting than it really was. The elongated pacing of Triangle of Sadness, Aftersun, which has some beautiful poetic moments, especially towards the end, and Decision to Leave, which did shit with the editing that I feel like I haven't even seen before. This is such a tough decision between Decision to Leave and Aftersun because both of them really impressed me and they both do good things in such different ways. Maybe we'll just tie it, because Decision to Leave I feel is the most impressive achievement, but Aftersun, some of the editing choices hit me in my core. So we'll do a tie, we'll be nice here and give everybody things. Cinematography. Close had some luscious close-ups, beautiful smooth tracking shots, gorgeous lighting. Decision to Leave, some wonky camera angles, really cool framing and compositions just throughout. Tchaikovsky's Wife. The lighting in this movie impressed me so much, and it felt so purposeful to the story, and also some beautiful long takes. The Stranger, which is so dominated by shadows and black in a way that is purposeful to the unsettling feeling that you're supposed to have watching it. And The Eight Mountains, which throughout just gives you gorgeous vistas of many mountains, probably more than 8, and lets you soak all that in as part of your spiritual experience, watching a movie about people who are going through a spiritual experience. And although I am tempted to give this one to Decision to Leave as well, I gotta go with Tchaikovsky's Wife because honestly, even though I didn't like that movie all that much, I was so impressed with the lighting and some of the camera movements that they did. But just taking it on the merit alone and what it does for the story and how it's servicing the symbolism and the motifs, I mean, We're just going to give it to that. In screenplay, we've got Broker, which does an amazing job tying together these characters and their arcs. Armageddon Time, which is such a thoughtful and honest examination of America and of Gray's own childhood. Triangle of Sadness, which is hilarious. Some really sharp, loud satire in this movie, and a very unique structure. After Sun, which is kind of just here because it's just such a good movie overall. And Layla's Brothers, which certainly has the most words out of any of these movies, featuring siblings debating for like 20 minutes on the same topic. While I am tempted to give it the Triangle of Sadness, I think I'm gonna have to go with Layla's Brothers here. It touches on so many different angles of politics and economics. And unfortunately, it feels like not a lot of people saw this movie at Cannes. And even though critics are very high on it, it didn't seem like it came out of the festival with the most buzz to report. But I think this movie's owed some justice here. In supporting actress, we got Aisling Francioski in God's Creatures, who really shines towards the end of this film. Lee Ji-yun for Broker, K-pop star. I think is this her acting debut? You tell me. But she has one scene on the Ferris wheel that completely breaks your heart and might be my favorite performance in the movie. Emily DeQuinn in Close. This is certainly the performance with the most crying, but it's really impressive what this actress was able to convey here. I'm being vague on purpose. Dolly DeLeon in Triangle of Sadness. She owns the last third of this film. She's hilarious in this movie. And Adele Exarchopoulos in The Five Devils, who is excellent as we watch her struggle with how her life ended up now and what her past used to be like. I'm tempted to go with Dolly DeLeon because she was just so perfect in this movie and I want her to have buzz for it. But the performance that impressed me the most really was Emily DeQuinn in Close. Supporting actor. I was tempted to include Gangwon Dan in Broker, Jalen Webb in Armageddon Time, who's really great, and LaDanya in Crazy Thunder in War Pony, who has a very cool name. We've got Gustav de Wael for Close, who plays the main character's best friend. One may have more screen time, but both of them I think are almost equally good in the scenes that they do share together. Jeremy Strong in Armageddon Time. Probably more buzz for Hopkins, but Jeremy Strong hit me harder in a couple scenes, and his character really surprised me with where he went and the depth that Jeremy Strong pulled out of him. Pablo Schills and Tori and Lokita. I mean, maybe he's kind of a lead, but I feel like this is the kind of fraud that the Oscars would do, so we're going to do it here just to nominate him. Amazing performance from this kid. We got Zlatko Buric in Triangle of Sadness because he's so funny and so believable, like you know what kind of like guy he is, and I don't know how he does it so effortlessly. But the winner of this category is going to be Saeed Poursamimi for Layla's Brothers. I remember talking to different people who had conflicting opinions on this guy. Some of them thought he was like such an asshole, but I felt that his performance was so sincere that I really did feel bad for him when certain things happened in the movie. I was really impressed with this performance, and like the movie, I'm afraid it's going to go overlooked. But at least Saeed will be made aware that he has, won this award, and I'm sure that he'll hang it on his shelf. I mean, if he reached out to me, I would probably figure out a way to like mail him a physical award if he would like that. In Best Actor, I was tempted to include Banks Rapetta in Armageddon Time. Mehdi Bajistani in Holy Spider was really good. Jojo Baptiste Whiting in War Pony. And even Song Kang-ho in Broker did not make the 5 here. Instead, we have Austin Butler in Elvis. It's hard to imagine there'd be a better actor to play Elvis, the way that he nails the singing and the dancing. And you really do get the sense that like he's nailing the personality. Naveed Mohammadzadeh in Layla's Brothers. Everybody in this movie is like really great. And he has so many scenes where the anger or the sadness of this character really comes through. Park Hae-il in Decision to Leave. I was really impressed with him in this movie. I think Tong Wei might be getting more buzz, but honestly, he was my favorite performance in the movie. The way that he carries this character's longing and their loneliness, I think, is masterful. Paul Mescal in After Sun. The way that he quietly conveys what his character is going through is really stunning. But the actor who impressed me the most was Eden Dambreen in Close. After I watched that movie, I was like, they should give this kid the Best Actor award. I'm going to try to be very vague here too, but there are a lot of actors who get praised for like their portrayal of a certain thing that people go through. And I feel like he was up there with all those great performances that we associate with that. The way that he carried the emotional weight of what's going on in his life, and it made it feel real to how a 13-year-old would deal with that. Amazing performance. Best Actress. Was tempted to include Zahra Amir Ebrahimi from Holy Spider, who did win the Cannes Best Actress award. Also Tong Wei, Decision to Leave. Maybe surprising that she's omitted, but I just felt more attached to other performances here. Mabundu Jolie in Tori and Lokita. Really good performance, could just as easily be on here. And Leia Seydoux in One Fine Morning, also really great. But what we have here is Tirana Aladusti in Layla's Brothers. Expertly carries what it means to be a woman in this society and in this family of hers. Alyona Mikhailova for Tchaikovsky's Wife. This is almost like a scary performance at times, because of how committed this character is to loving this guy who will not love her back. Like the movie, there's kind of a one-note thing for her to be expressing in it, but she does it so well. Julie Ledrew for Rodeo. This felt like such a gritty and real performance, and I think she's a newcomer. I don't really know how she pulled off this effortlessness. Even though the movie as a whole maybe wasn't so memorable, I thought her performance really stood out. Frankie Corio in Aftersun. I mean, this is just another stunning performance by a child from this festival. I'm very tempted to give her the award, but I think I will actually have to go with Emily Watson for God's Creatures. I feel like Emily Watson couldn't have been better here. And what an interesting character for her to dive into. She's dealing with the loyalty that she has to her son, her obligation towards the truth, her idea of the town that she's grown up in being shattered. She's playing with so much here, so quietly, so skillfully. Only a master actor like Emily Watson could do a performance like this, and I feel like we haven't seen a performance from her that's this good in so long. I hope that she gets some awards buzz for it. Best Director. We got Lucas Dont for Close. The style of this movie was really stunning. It's so beautiful to look at, and the way that he's able to express what his characters are going through indirectly or without dialogue is, I think, masterful. Decision to Leave. There's like some crazy stylistic shit in this movie, and I feel like it just shows that Park Chan-wook is on another level. RMN. Something about this movie has stayed with me. I love the chilled atmosphere and the slow burn pacing. Tempted to give this to Ruben Alston for Triangle of Sadness. I just felt this is a really ambitious, bold comedy. His voice really comes through here as a satirist. But I'm gonna have to give this to Aftersun, Charlotte Wells, because I just watched this movie and I was like, this is one of the greatest debut films I've ever seen. I'm just stunned with the talent of this filmmaker. The impact that this movie had on me by the end really left me thinking about how skilled the buildup was to get there. Some of these amazing compositions and editing choices really left a mark on me, so Aftersun wins Director. And finally, Best Picture. We're gonna go in order here. Number 9, RMN. Number 8, Broker. Number 7, God's Creatures. Number 6, Armageddon Time. Number 5, Decision to Leave. Number 4, Close. Number 3, Layla's Brothers. Number 2, Palm winner Triangle of Sadness. And number 1, you know that it was the only movie I gave a 10 at the fest. It's Aftersun. I feel like by now I've already talked about how much I love the performances, the directing, the editing in this movie. But really, it was the only movie that milked some tears out of me. I mean, there were movies that I got close at, but this was the only one where I was like, I have no choice. Very excited to check this one out. Again, would be happy to maybe do another video diving even deeper into it. I think that this movie and Triangle of Sadness have top 10 potential at the end of the year. So congratulations to Aftersun on winning the Palme d'Oscar Expert, a very coveted award. Some are saying that in a few years it could become a more valued award than the Palme. You know, I'm not saying that. Other people are saying that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Which award should I be giving you?